Hello and welcome to the solo playthrough of Survive Alive. The setup is similar to multiplayer. A few changes are there's only one objective card, which is an end objective, because the rest are used for player interaction. We have to eliminate the 3-player locations and the 4-player locations as we're playing 1 or 2-player game. And then we select 5 character cards from the deck. You get to pick one of these. The rest are shuffled. And we randomly pick one, which should go to the bottom of the character card deck, and we get to pick one from the remaining on here, which will choose Agatha, and these cards will now go to the bottom of the character card deck. Put the names in, so we've got Paul and Agatha, and we now get the resources depicted on this card. So Paul would get 4 metal, he'd get 4 wood, he'd get 1 food and 1 brick. Agatha would get 4 wood, 3 metal, 2 brick, 2 food and 1 cloth. Again, these resources we can pull together to help build our base. So what we want to look at, one of the first things we want to look at is probably building a watchtower. For 2 reasons. The watchtower defends both the adjacent sides, and you get to look at the event cards that are going to come at the end of that round. So if you notice on here, there are 2 different costs for watchtowers. This is the reason because this is the forest base, so that means you've got a cheaper wood resource on 6 of your facilities in your base. On the other maps, if you're a quarry, you've got 6 facilities that are cheaper on brick. In the mountain, you've got 6 facilities that are cheaper on metal, and in the river base, you've got 6 facilities that are cheaper on food and herb costs. Okay, so first things first, let's build this watchtower. So it costs 1 wood, 1 metal, and 1 brick. And we cross that location off. And we nice and steady look at the top event card, which will be for round 1 event card. So on this event card, you see it's going to be 5 plus the round number. So in round 1, we have that there, so it'll be 6 coming from this south side here. Currently, we have nothing in there. However, we can build our facilities up, or we can equip characters with weapons. So, put the event card back on the top. Because we've got Paul as a blacksmith and we have a forge, it might be worth to try and build our forge first. So a forge costs 1 brick, wood and 1 metal, and that crosses that off there. Okay, put them back into the supply bag. And now that means we can build weapons, and also Paul can help forge them. 1 weapon costs 1 less metal per round. So let's build a weapon onto Paul. So let's say we build the knife. The knife original cost will cost 2 metal and 1 wood. However, with his ability, it costs 1 metal less. So keep 1 metal, and we turn his card to the side to indicate it's been used this round. Resources will go back in, and we build Paul a knife. So on the next one is we need to look at building some food, because we have to feed our characters. We have to upkeep them with beds and with bathrooms. So it might be that we look at building some gardens to start off with, especially with Agatha, where building food gardens costs 1 less wood. So this one here will just cost 1 food. So let's do that. And let's build another one, because we've got 2 characters, so we're going to need 2 food. So again, 1 less wood for that one there as well. Okay, so we need to look at getting some bases put into here. So let's give Paul another weapon. So let's do 2 wood and 1 metal. We'll get him a axe, so he can help defend this side. And then we just need 2 barricades. So we do which cost a wood and a metal each. So let's go 1, 2. Again, doesn't matter where on that line you do it, because it all defends the south into there. So that leaves us with these resources spare. So we do need a bed and a bath. So let's try and get a bed, which we can do with them 2 resources there. So a wood and a cloth. And that leaves us 3 resources spare here. So there's not a lot we can do with them 3 resources. However, we can store at least one of these over. So let's store a metal for next round. Any resources we can't store, we're not saving for scavenging, we chuck into the bag. Now, we could save the food here to go scavenging to a one location. But if you look in the top of the corner of the map here, with one location for food, we're going to face 8 zombies. And currently, there's only Paul that's got weapons and he's got a strength of 4. So he's going to be unsuccessful there. So we don't really want to be going scavenging yet until we've got more weapons and characters that are more favourable for scavenging. So resources go out of the game. So scavenging we're not doing. We're going to draw the top event card now for this round, which will be 5 plus a round number from the south, so that'll be 6. Now we're going to use Paul to defend this south side here. So he's got a weapon strength of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus he's got 2 barricades, so 1, 2, which means he's got 6. That means we successfully defend the base, which means we get to colour in this first on the tracker there. And then because both characters are healthy, don't have any wounds on them, we get to colour that tracker in there. Paul can happily go back to here and we can turn him face up because we're going into the next round. We're now going to follow the rest of the event cards. That means we get 11 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And because we've got 2 characters exactly, we get an extra 4 resources. So 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. Once we finish this, we're going to come on to round end. So we get a food for each garden that we built. Now we need to feed each character food. So we've got 2 characters, so that'll be 1 food each. And we need to give them upkeep. So Paul can have the bed, so he's got met 2 of the 3 requirements, but Agatha hasn't got anything for her. So we're going to lose 1 resource of our choice from the bag here, which will lose a food. We haven't built a radio, so we don't get any extra resources, which if we would have done, we'd have got 3 resources for that. The next step we have to do is shuffle these event cards back in. And then we scribble out the top one here to indicate that the strength of the zombie's gone up, but there's still going to be 1 event card come out. So we can use this cube from our storage back into our using area. And now we can look at trying to build some more things. So the other thing that I probably want to build is another watchtower, because again we get to look at the event card. So this will cost 1 brick, 1 metal and 1 wood. And we get to cross that one off into there. That allows us then to look at the top event card, which is going to be 5 plus a round number, so 7 in total from the east. Paul has got 4 weapon strength, and there's 2 there, 5, 6. So we just need 1 barricade on that side to fulfill that, which we'll use them 2, so a wood and a metal. So that means we've got that east side covered. So now we need to look at building some other facilities in our base to try and get some more morale up, or if we want to go scavenging, etc. So what I may want to look at doing first is trying to get some more defences in. We've got food. So let's look at building another weapon for Agatha. So because we've got Paul's ability, which forging weapon costs 1 less metal per round, we can build her a knife, which costs metal and the wood. Turn Paul to the side to indicate it's been used, and highlight the weapon that Agatha has been built. Next thing I want to try and build is just to help us with health, if we need it, is build a herb garden. So herb garden will produce green cubes, and it costs you 3 green cubes to remove a wound off a character. So I'm kind of planning for the future here. So them 3 there would build this herb garden in there. That means we've got 5 resources left. So then 5 resources, we can build a garden. Another barricade, and let's put it on this east side to start with. The west side. So that's them 2. And then the resource we've got left, we can store one of them, which I'm probably going to store that one. And if we want to, we can chance them going out for scavenging. But however, if they go out for scavenging, they're not going to be back in the base. Okay, so we need to be aware that we're planning for all eventualities, which in this case, I'm not going to go out scavenging, so these will be discarded to the bag. Next phase will be draw the event card, which you already seen. So it'll be 5 plus a round number, so 7 coming from that side, which we said we're going to put Paul in that side to help defend. So 1, 2, 3 from the base, and then Paul has got 4 strength of his weapons, so he got 7. So we successfully defend that. So that means we cross that one off again, and we're all healthy. So we cross that one off. So the next thing that we need to do is do down here. So we get 11 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we're going to get 5 resources here because we've got exactly 2 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If we'd have built our command center, which is here, we would have got another character now. And drawing a character, so I'll just show you how that works. So we would have drawn a character off the top of the deck. And we get to choose any 4 resources off here. So it could be like 2 wood, 1 metal, 1 brick, for example. And we get to choose if we want to keep him or leave him. Now, if we keep him in our base, it's good because he can help defend other sides of the base. We build our character tracker up, but it's going to cost more for upkeep in terms of baths, beds, food, etc. And we'll not get our morale up on our tracker. Okay, so that's how characters would work if we pull them off from there. So we've done the resources now. It's from the event card. So I'll just put that back to the top for the minute. And now we're going to do our upkeep. So we gain for our gardens, we get 2 food, 1 for each garden. So 1, 2. And we also get a herb for the garden this time as well. Okay. So we're going to feed all our characters. So it'll be 1, 2 food. 1 character can have a bed, but the other one isn't. So we're going to lose 1 random resource. 1 resource of our choice, which I'm going to lose a food. These resources can go into our stock ready to go. I'll shuffle this card stack, ready for the next round. And then this time we cross off the round 2, which means round 3 is going to come, and there's going to be 2 event cards coming out of the deck as well. So, planning for this eventuality, I want to build another watchtower. So I'll build a watchtower here, which will be a brick, metal, and 2 wood to build this one here. And that allows us to look at the top 2 event cards. So that'll be the first one, and that'll be the second one. So we've got 5, 8 now from the east, and we've got 8 from the north. So we need to try and shore up these defenses here, but don't forget we can also put in weapons on our characters as well to do that. And when we deal with event cards when they're more than 1, we deal with this top part, ignore everything else on the card, deal with this one, and then we get everything else from the event card when we're drawing up. So we know what's coming. So them cards can go into that. So we're going to use Paul's ability, and we're going to use 1 less metal, so it costs 2 wood to put a weapon at Agatha. So an axe would cost 2 wood and a metal, but because of Paul's ability, we don't have to pay the metal. So that gives us a strength of 4. So 4. So on this side now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but we need 8. So we need to build another barricade here, which we can use a wild one for metal, and that wood for a wood to build a barricade. And then we need 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So we need 2 up here because we've got. Let me just work it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we need 2 barricades up on this top bit here. So we need to do that as a barricade. So them 2. And do 1, 2, 3, 4. Because at any time in our turn, we have a trade ratio of 4 to 1. Okay, so we can use them 4 there for a wood. Then we can use that wild as a metal, and that allows us to colour that one in there. We have 2 resources left, which we can store 1. So let's store the herb, and let's put that back into the supply bag. And now we will move on to scavenging phase. However, we haven't got no food to go scavenging with, and plus we want to use our characters for our base. So we'll draw the event card. So the first one comes out, which you've already seen. So it'll be 5 plus a round number, which is 3. So it's 8 coming from the north. And we're going to use Paul to defend the north here. So Paul's up a strength of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we successfully defend that north side. The next one that comes out is 5 plus a round number, which is 3. It's going to be 8 from this east side. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and Agatha has a strength of 4 weapons, so she can defend that side, and that means we happily defend our base. All characters are healthy, and then we can now move on to the rest of the event card, which is going to pull out 11 resources. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Random 5 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for having exactly 2 players. We haven't got the command center yet, so we can't build any. So we can't get a character. So on to round cleanup now. So we're going to get a herb for our herb garden, and we're going to get food for each of our food gardens in there. And then we're going to look at feed them both. So 2 food. A bed can be used for Agatha, but Paul's going to be short, so we're going to lose 1 resource. So we'll take 1 resource, put that back in. We're going to shuffle the event cards back in, and then we're going to scribble off round 3. So we're round 4 now. 2 event cards are going to come out. Use these resources back in here because we produce them in there. And now we need to look at building again. So I want to try and build this last watchtower in here to give us a bit more strength. So that'll be 2 wood, 1 metal, and 1 brick. And then we can scribble off that one in there. And that allows us to look at the top 2 event cards because there's 2 this round. So that'll be 1 there and 2 there. So that means there's going to be 4 plus the round number, which is 4. So 8 coming from this west side, and 5 plus the round number 4 is going to be 9 coming from this side. So if we had a character defend here, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it should be covered with 1 character down here. On this side, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you use another character on that side, we would be covered on there. But what I want to try and do is I want to try and get out and scavenge this round by keeping 3 food behind. So what I want to do is I need to build another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So I need to build 2 more barricades. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 more barricades. So use them 2 resources for 1. Them 2 resources for another one. And then I'm slightly short. So before, okay. So what I need to do is try and get my trade ratio down, which I can't do that because the radio costs 3 metal in there. Can I get a bath? Can't get a bath in there yet. I'm struggling here for a lot. So the only thing I can do that I can see is them 4 in for a metal, and them 2 in for a brick, which then gets me my storage in there, so I can store an extra cube in future. So on this one, I'm going to show you scavenging, and I'm going to take here on base. So the person I'm going to go scavenging with is Agatha. So I'll place Agatha up next to the scavenging map to indicate that's where she's gone. Pay food for a location, which I'm better off going for a free food location because there's less zombies. So free food in. Pick a location, so let's go to Auto Garage. Get a free location card and turn it over. So it's a strength of 2, and Agatha has a strength of 4, so we're successfully in there. We've got an influence tick, so because we've gone scavenging, we get an influence mark there, and we get a character. So we turn over top character, and we choose any 4 resources there. So we go for 2 of each. So a brick and a wood, a wood and a metal, and a wood and a metal. So that's 4 resources, and we can choose to take him or leave him. Which I'm going to take him because he helps to remove a wound once per round, so that's quite good. And we'll just add Rick's name in there. Rick would stay up there with Agatha because they found them scavenging, so they would stay there. We cross out the location because we were successful. If you weren't successful, you wouldn't cross it out. And in solo, if you notice, the location here also gets crossed out, so it replicates like another player that's gone scavenging as well. This card just stays up at the top. And then now we move on to the next phase, which is to reveal event cards, which you already know what they are. So the first one that will come out will be 8 from the west. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to take a hit on that one. So we lose that one, which means the characters in base get a wound, so Paul get a wound. Nothing happens on here, although we won't move on the health tracker. If Paul got a second wound, then he won't be able to use his ability. If he got 3 wounds, then he would die. Okay. The other way that Paul could die is if the deficit was more than 5. So, for example, if the round number was number 5 and we had the event card come out, so that'd be 9 in total, and Paul only had a strength of 4, he would die because the deficit is 5. It's too great for him to survive that. So the next one is card's going to come out. It's 5 plus the round number, which is 4, so 9 from the south, and we get Paul to defend that south side. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he's got a strength of 4, which gives us 10. So we're quite good in defending that side of the base there. So we didn't defend both cards, so we won't mark that. All our characters aren't healthy, so we wouldn't mark that either. So we'll just come onto this bit here, which gives us 11 resources. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. We won't get this now because now I've got 3 characters, so we wouldn't get anything on this card. Okay, so them cards can just go into there for the minute. Now we're going to come on to round end, which means we will get one food each for each garden, and we'll also get a herb as well for that garden there. So our characters can come back in space, so resources can be shared back over here, and these characters are back into base there. And now each character needs to be fed, which we can feed 2 there. So Rick and Agatha can be fed, and then we can use 1 from our pool that we just pulled out to feed all characters. That's 3 characters. 1 character can have a bed, but the other 2 are going to be short, so I'm going to lose 2 resources here. So I'm going to lose 1 food and 1 herb in there. That's them done. So I'm going to shuffle the event card. Sorry. Scribble off this last one here. So that means round 5. We're going to be 3 event cards come out. So it needs to be really good at how we're going to do this. That can come back into there, and we're ready to spend. So the first thing I probably want to do is if I could turn Rick like that, because he can remove 1 wound once per round, removes that wound in there. So the next thing that I want to do is try and look at. We're not going to be able to look at the event cards. However, we can, if we pay 1 food per event card, we can look at them, but we don't have any food. So although we could use them for food to make it cheaper, but what I want to try and do is build some weapons, which we can use some on Rick, because we can use Paul's facility here. So forging a weapon. So let's use a knife. So it's that one. So a metal and a wood would get him a knife. I also turn his ability to show that he's been used that round. That goes back into the supply bag. And then now we need to look at building some morale, some facilities and things to keep us going. So let's look at building a bed. So we can do them for a bed, which is that bed there. And then we can do that for a bath. Okay, so we've got these resources left open. Which I'm going to take a gamble and just build 2 barricades and put them on this side. And then I can store that left over. So I'm not going to be scavenging this round. Okay, so these can be moved back round. And now I'm going to draw the event card. So the first card is going to be 5 plus around number 5, so it'll be 10 from the south. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we can get Paul, who's got strength of 4 to defend from the south. So that'll be 10. Draw the next event card, which will be 4 plus 5, 9 from the east. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if we get Agatha, who's got a strength of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, will defend the east side. And the last card is 5 plus around numbers, so it's 10 from the west. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus Rick's got a weapon. So we successfully defend the west side as well. So we defended all cards, so we can scribble that in. All characters are now healthy, so we can scribble that in. We put the characters back to where they were, and we follow the rest of the event card, which is 11 resources. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we can now get our food. Obviously, we don't get that line because we've got more than 2 characters. We can get our food for each garden we produce, and a herb for the garden we produce there as well. We need to feed each character, so 1, 2, and use 1 for our pool, so 3. So that's 3 food. And each character has another benefit as well. So each character can have Agatha can have a bed, Paul can have a bed, and Rick can have a bath. So they've met 2 out of 3 requirements, so we're not going to lose any resources this time, but we're still not going to go on that until each character's got 3 out of 3. So the next step is we shuffle these cards. We mark off the last round, so round 6, and 4 event cards are going to come out. And this time we pull all the resources from our garden and stuff into there. So first thing I probably want to do is use Paul's ability, because then we can turn that and we can get Rick a axe, which would now just cost 2 wood. The next thing would be to have a look and see if we can build in more resources. So, sorry, facilities. So let's use them two to build and use that one onto there. So let's build 2 more barricades on there. And we've got these resources left, which we would probably look at doing, swapping them 4 herbs into for a wood. And that allows us to build 1 more barricade, which we would put on this north side there. And then we'll keep this food because that'll give us 1 point at the end of the game. So again, not going scavenging. So now we're going to pull the event cards out. So it'll be 11 from the west, because 5 there and then 6 for the round number. So 11, which we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we don't need anyone to defend that side. So we've successfully done that. And then look at this next one. So it'll be 4 plus 6, so 10 from the north. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if we use Paul up there, would give us the full marks that we need. So we defended that side. Next card that comes out is going to be 5 plus 6 is going to be 11 from the north. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then Paul's got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we successfully defend that north side again. And then the last one is 5 from the east with the round number. So it's 11. And we're going to put Agatha and Rick on this side. So they both got 4 weapon strength each. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11. So we smash that one as well. So because it's the last round, we don't do anything else in that round card. We don't do any morale or any feeding or any resource producing. We go straight to the end of the round. But however, because for defending all 4, we mark that off. All 4 characters are healthy, so we mark that off. And then we proceed to round scoring. So as you can see, we've got 3 characters. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 gets us 9 points. Our base hasn't been breached, and our base will be breached if no characters are in base and the zombie attack was more than the defense you got on that side of the base. So nothing there. We defended the base 5 times, so we got 12 points. We had healthy characters 4 times, so we got 15 points. Went scavenging once, so we got a total of 3 points. IP would be, if you look on some cards, they have points from scavenging, but we didn't get anything there, so that's 0 points. We didn't build up any morale, so we didn't get anything there. Resources, we've got 1 resource here, so that gives 1 point. It's 1 point per resource. We're not playing with A and B because it's solo mode, but we are playing with C, so we've got 3 gardens, which 1, 2, 3 gets us 1 point. And we had the total up. So 9 plus 12 will be 21, will be 36, plus 3, 39, 40, 41. And that is how you play solo of Survive Alive. Thanks for watching.